It took me months of preparation, practicing different shapes and ideas. I spent a weekend doing it, and publicity company got hold of it, and it ended up going to newspapers in 112 countries around the world.
Really?
Yeah. It was in
Brilliant.
the Times, it was in the Sun, in the Huffington Post, newspapers all over the place.
Hello, Greg from Balloon Market here, and welcome to BMTV. And as you can see, we're back on the sofa, and this time it's with the Bowtie Balloon Guy. Without his bow tie, it's the real Rob Driscoll. Rob?
Hi, Greg.
All right?
Yeah, good. Feel underdressed.
I know, it's strange to see you without one of your many bow ties. But anyway, sofa chat.
I know, this is exciting.
I know. It's who knows where the conversation is going to go. But first of all, I think for people that don't know who you are, do you want to tell everybody your story of how you, just your story, how you got to be here and, what you did before, all that sort of stuff.
So when I left school, I wanted to be a cabinet maker, a carpenter.
Okay.
And I went to college. When I was 16, I went straight to college, did study furniture design, did that, became a cabinet maker.
Okay.
Worked in a furniture shop.
Yeah.
For 6 years, but around 18, I was given magic lessons for my birthday. So I'm actually a magician.
Yeah.
That's my actual thing.
Yeah.
That's what I did predominantly. And early on in the days, it was some street party, and I was working with another magician, and he jokingly came along with a bag of 260s and said, "Here, we'll blow that up." And what he didn't know was, I come from a family of swimmers.
Okay.
I used to be in competitions, swimming competitions. My mum's a swimming teacher. My sister still, we've always been swimmers.
Yeah.
And I could just blow a balloon up.
Okay.
Right? I just went, blew it up. Here we go. And he just went, "Oh, keep the bag."
Okay.
Like that. And that was my first balloon thing. I couldn't make anything. I made a sword, I think.
So he was trying to play a trick on you, just like you won't be able to blow this up, and you just did it.
Exactly. I just did it. I've got big lungs, basically.
Yeah.
And so for the first 10 years or so, all I made was swords, dogs, simple stuff.
Yeah.
I worked on my magic a lot. And then one day, I like setting myself projects and tasks and challenges. I like challenges. So I set myself a challenge of making a different balloon animal every day for a whole year.
Yeah.
And that I got to the end of January and I'd run out of things to make. I thought, what do I do now? I can only make like so many things. So I had to learn. I had to teach myself how to make balloons. I didn't know there was a balloon community out there.
Okay.
This is all before that, so I started to research, there's a world out there which is balloon related.
Yeah.
Found my way, started to improve, and then, took off from there, really. It was the day of, every day making a balloon for a year was the thing that got me going.
So after the 31 days where you'd run out of animals, did you start making other things?
Yep, I started. So on my first day, I made a cat, but I made other cats, a different style, I made characters from films, I made all sorts of things, just lots of different hats, different flowers, just trying different things every day.
So what was it, do you think, that attracted you more to the balloons away from the magic? Because you still do magic, don't you?
Yeah, so I do magic is probably half of what of my income, So I'm big into art. So when I stopped the furniture making, I went back to university as a mature student, and I went to study art and design.
Yeah.
And so the problem with sculpture is it takes ages. And the same with cabinet making. It takes ages to make a cabinet.
Yeah.
Balloons, I can do it quickly.
Yeah.
I think I'm impatient. I want results.
Okay.
And balloons was that way into creating art really quickly.
Yeah.
It's like a speed art.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's more important to you, the speed at which you do it, or the art?
The art. It's all about the art for me.
Okay.
It's all about the art. It always has been.
Yeah.
I love nothing more than creating something a final piece, editing it in Photoshop and all that, and getting it look perfect.
Yeah.
Love all that.
Yeah.
It's all about the art for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. So you've been using balloons for how many years now?
32 years.
32 years.
Yeah. Scary, isn't it?
You're doing balloons.
Yeah.
How have you seen the industry, as in the twisting community, I guess, is probably the biggest community that you're part of.
Yeah.
How has that changed over 32 years?
It's difficult to know because the first 10, 15 years, I didn't know anybody else existed.
Okay.
Obviously, I did know people existed. I thought they were all like me.
Yeah.
Like just making dogs, cats, swords, flowers, simple stuff.
Yeah.
So I didn't realise that there was a world out there. So I've only seen it probably from the last 15 or so years.
Okay.
15, 20 years maybe. I mean, it has changed. The skill level generally has gone through the roof.
Yeah.
People are much more experimental with things. It has changed a lot, yeah.
And of course, twisting has come more into decorating,
Yeah.
so those two have merged.
Decorating was another thing I didn't even know existed.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're not looking for it, you don't know it's there, do you?
Exactly, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you do any decorating yourself, or is it?
A bit. I dabble in it, but not
Okay.
much, really.
Because we tend to see each other at Bapier events,
That's
don't
right,
we?
yeah.
So
I tend to be involved in decorating when I'm doing stuff for other events, like Gosh or Bapier or yeah.
yeah. So I want to ask you a question, because obviously a lot of people out there, they're either starting in business or they're thinking about starting in business. Balloons have always been relatively low barriers to entry. You can buy you had a bag of 260s to start with. So you can just buy some balloons, air inflator, use Instagram, and depending what it is you're trying to do, but you can, off you go. What have you found to be the biggest challenges in your career?
I think getting known, it's a difficult thing because I still get this. People just see you as a clown. Yeah. Basically. I mean, I'm not a clown. Never been a clown.
Yeah, you're not funny at all.
No, exactly. Exactly. It's totally not me.
Yeah.
And it's not about the clowning. And I say that in an industry of clowning as in being funny and doing that. So it's not about that for me. So I think that is trying to get that away from that stigma. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a clown.
But it's not what you are.
No, it's an art in itself. I've seen there were some amazing clowns in Cirque du Soleil, and
I know,
incredible.
They were my favourite part of it.
And that's a type of clowning which is just so clever and inspirational and everything. But it's not me. So getting away from that stigma of you're just a children's entertainer. Oh yeah, is quite a big thing for me, I think.
So how do you do that?
Try and share my art and get people to appreciate it, I think is the big thing. Try and getting my stuff out there and seen by people has been one of the biggest things, getting people to look at it. I have people saying, I think I mentioned this to you earlier, is that I don't like when people ask me what I do, and I say, well, I'm a balloon man or a balloon artist. Oh, you're a clown, you're a children's entertainer. And I have to show them what I do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, I understand.
Yeah.
It's a visual thing. Just by showing someone what you do, you kind of change their mind.
Yeah.
A
lot of people think that though with anybody in the balloon industry. We used to get it when we started, and it's like, what do you do? Oh, balloons. It's like, oh, do you do weddings? And it's like, well, no, we're wholesalers, blah blah blah. You know, and it's people just don't understand the community or the size of the industry really.
I mean, the first question is, oh, do you do children's parties? Yeah. Well, yes, I do, but it's much more than that.
Yeah.
It's so much more than that.
Yeah. So the biggest challenge for you has been just changing that perception. Yeah.
I mean, I do talks for various groups and things, and my whole point of the talk is to show people it's not just about a balloon dog.
Yeah.
There's so much more to it.
Yeah.
It's not just. I always ask, the first question I ask is, what do you think about when you think of a balloon man? And they always say, oh yeah, dogs,
balloon
swords, flowers.
Yeah.
That's it. It's the same answer every time. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
So, and my job is there to change their mind.
Yeah.
Which I always do, thankfully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, another question about the name of your your business, the Bowtie Balloon Guy.
Yep.
Where did that come from? Did you just wear bow ties anyway?
Nope.
Okay.
No, I was on my way to my local magic club.
Yeah.
And I do a double act with a friend of mine, and we do a mind reading act.
Okay.
And we were driving down to my magic club, and we were talking about fashion generally, and fashion in work, and looking smart and stuff, and I just happened to say I really like the idea of bow ties. And he goes, oh yeah, I kind of get that. I can see you wearing a bow tie. And he just went, you could be the Bowtie Balloon Guy.
Yeah.
And it stuck.
Really? That simple?
Just simple as that. I'm like, so I thank Clint for that. Yeah. That was a big change in my. When I'm doing magic, I'm Robbie the Wizard. Okay. That's my thing, Robbie the Wizard. So I wanted to differentiate from that. I didn't know where to go. So Bowtie Balloon Guy. That's what he came up with. And
so you are two brands.
I'm two brands. Yeah. But I mean, I still do Robbie the Wizard, and I have done balloons as Robbie the Wizard.
Yeah.
And I do magic as the Bowtie Balloon Guy. But Bowtie Balloon Guy is predominantly balloons. Magic's predominantly Robbie
So
the Wizard.
are you the same personality? Is it still you?
It's just me.
You're not changing anything. It's just what you're doing in front of everybody.
No, I remember seeing Jeffrey Durham.
Okay, yeah.
The great Stupendo, talking about characters. And because he spent all of his years being the great Stupendo, an Italian magician. And he said he got to the point he realised not many people liked him because they can't make him out. He's not the person he is.
Yeah.
And he said one of the most amazing things I ever heard: the greatest character you've got is the one you're already good at.
Yeah.
It's the character that you are.
Yeah.
So I just be me. It might be an elevated me, but it's just me. You're getting me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Robbie the Wizard at Christmas, Robbie the Elf. Okay. I mean, it's just me.
Yeah.
Just with a different hat on.
Yeah.
Literally a different hat on.
Yeah. So I want to talk to you as well about some of the challenges over the COVID years, because obviously what you did just stopped.
Yep.
So what did you do? How did you deal with that?
Well, it was great. I'll be honest, and I feel guilty saying this. I had the best time ever.
Really?
I mean, it started off horrific because March the 20th, what it was, I had a diary, a summer full of work. It was amazing.
Yeah.
The next day, gone.
Yeah.
Crossed everything out. Literally, I had nothing. Oh, God, what do I do? I remember I'd just done a job for a Semitex job, and literally the money came through the day that the lockdown came. I thought, I've got money. I need to save that money. And yet for a while I was like, oh, how am I going to survive this? And then I just started playing with balloons, almost getting back to the learning, and I started playing with new ideas. So I was making videos of me building balloons. I came up with this weird video technique where you see little clips of me building balloons and it builds into something.
Yeah.
And I did those for about 6 months. TikTok was my life for about 6 months.
Yeah.
3 times a day. I'd make 3 videos a day.
That's crazy.
I know, it's insane, isn't it? I'd do a main video, 2 smaller videos. I'd do a little bit about ballooning. I'd do a little bit of history of balloons or something like that. I just went mad with it. 6 months, 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Got myself 26,000 followers or something.
That's
like
brilliant.
I had one video which had something like 1 million views.
Wow.
Which was the highlight of my TikTok career.
Yeah.
I haven't posted since.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But, well, work started to come back. So I did get work back in that summer, 2020. It wasn't the same.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until the following year I started getting back to normal.
Yeah.
Properly normal. So
how do people find you? How do you market yourself?
I'm a weird situation. So a lot of my work comes through an agent.
Oh, actually, I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah. I work. It's in this day. It's such an old-fashioned thing, and yet it works for me.
Yeah.
So they provide me with mostly my magic shows. They do all my magic shows. They do. It's so easy. I pay them a cut. I'm happy with that because they get the work for me. They get me a good price, and Yeah. Other stuff, it's basically Facebook, Instagram, whatever social media I can do.
Yeah.
I don't really have a website. I've got a link tree which links to all my social media.
Yeah.
That's what I call my website.
Yeah.
But apart from that, they do the work for me.
So is it mainly the magic stuff that they get you, or do they get you
Yes.
balloon jobs as well?
They get me both.
Okay.
They get me both. So they get me the magic shows. They get me cruise ships. They get me odd balloon events. Yeah, quite a few balloon events. Yeah.
Did they get you the WI as well?
No, I did that myself.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
I got that myself. Yeah, that was just a chance thing that happened. They just contacted me out of the blue and said, "Would you?" Some WI in the middle of Hampshire, in the countryside near Alton it was, and I remember driving to it in the dark, getting lost, and there was like these 10 ladies sat there, and they said, "Oh, we just want a little talk about balloons." Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
And I did it, and then I thought I really enjoyed it so much. It was great. So I put together this talk, and I auditioned for the WI, Hampshire WI. I've had to do it twice now. So I had to do West Sussex as well. So it's weird auditioning for something.
Yeah.
It's strange, yeah. And then, they've gone mad, really. I mean, there was 1 week before Christmas, I did 9 WIs.
Wow.
In a week.
Oh my goodness.
It was insane, yeah. So
why so many before Christmas?
because balloons is a fun, festive thing.
I suppose. Yeah.
It's their Christmas party, so they all went.
Yeah.
They weren't mad for it.
So what's the biggest piece of work that you've done that you're most proud of, would you say? I don't mean physically biggest, but
the thing I'm most proud of in the world is my Lady in the Tramp balloon. I'm so proud of that. It took me months of preparation, of just thinking about it mainly, practicing different shapes and ideas, and then I spent a weekend doing it, and a newspaper company, not a newspaper company, but a publicity company got hold of it, and it ended up going to newspapers in 112 countries around the world.
Really?
Yeah. It was in the Times, it was in the Sun, in the Huffington Post, newspapers all over the place.
Wow.
China, Brazil.
So what was the subject of the article, or was it?
They were just, I'd done, so like I did my 365 days of balloons, my next challenge after that was every week I did a movie scene.
Yeah.
So
I remember talking about that as well.
I did like Sword and Stone and the Smurfs and so on. Lady and the Tramp was one of them.
Yeah.
And they featured a few. I think Home Alone was one they featured. Jack Skellington, Nightmare Before Christmas they did. Yeah, and Lady and the Tramp was went everywhere.
Why did you do that sort of thing? Is it for marketing or is it more for you?
It's for me.
Okay.
It's for me, and I found it's good to have it gives me social media presence. So I'm not doing a project at the moment, but I find I'm not posting much.
Yeah.
If I had a challenge like that every week, it gives me something to post. And I mean, I need to go back and start reposting some of these things.
Yeah.
But it's to give me content to post, but it's mainly for me. It's because I like it. I enjoy it. And I like that feeling. I remember one time I made, and this wasn't connected to any project, I just made Starry Starry Night, Van Gogh's Starry Starry Night.
Yeah.
And I was on a Zoom to America with a group of other balloon people. And we were all chatting away, and I literally just posted it. I thought, I'll post that now. It's fine. And we sat there, and then suddenly you could see the wave. Bob, I just seen your balloon. Or it's like, I didn't realise it was going to happen. It's like it was really nice that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, really nice. So that's good.
So when you say you do it for you, is it because you need to be busy all the time, or is it
probably? Yeah.
Okay.
I go through stages. So sometimes I'll go through a stage of I can't look at a balloon. I can't deal with it. I've been balloon twisting all weekend. Can't look at a balloon. And I'll be like that for a month or so.
Really?
I'll work and make balloons, but I don't touch a balloon at home. Then other times I'll be constantly making balloons or playing with ideas and things.
Yeah.
I do go through phases. It's quite weird.
So why do you go through phases, do you think?
Don't know. Strange, isn't it? I know other people who are constantly playing with balloons all the time.
Yeah.
And I know another lady who only does it for work, and she gets insistent that she should never touch a balloon outside work.
Yeah.
Which I think is the extreme opposite. I fluctuate.
It's interesting though, because she's obviously trying to separate work from
exactly.
life.
Yeah.
And I remember when we started the business working from home.
Yeah.
And it was Friday evening after Raw Mail had been, we would get every balloon out of the house, into the garage, every box, everything, anything to do with the business, just put it all into the garage, and then Monday morning bring it back in. And it's because, I mean, we had a young child, well, a baby at the time, and it was important for us to be able to separate that.
Yeah.
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 And I know not everybody around me likes the sound of, so I get aware of that. You know?
Yeah, true.
I get aware of, it's time to.
It's not the most soothing of sounns, is it?
No, no, that's right.
You know, they're watching telly or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I can imagine that.
Yeah.
So, what sort of? I'm intrigued because you're a very creative person, clearly.
Thank you.
And is that why you got into the carpentry and stuff? Do you think? Is it just you wanted to be able to create?
I'm not academic. I'm a practical person.
Yeah.
I'm a creative person. Yeah.
So what makes you creative? What's going on in your head? What do you think is the essence of creativity? God, that's a deep question.
That's a deep question. Yeah. I don't know. What is the essence?
I'm just wondering, what kind of person are you to end up in a creative? You know,
I don't know.
Do you like being on your own? Do you like being with other people?
I love being on my own.
Okay.
Love it. I like being with people.
Yeah.
But I'm a loner.
Okay.
But I do like being with people. But yeah, I'm very much a loner. See, my dad and my sister were academic.
Yeah.
And I'm more like my mum. We're practical people. Yeah.
So do you think being a loner has benefited you? Because I think there's a lot of loners. There's a lot of introverts that feel in this world, this day and age of Instagram and everything else, that being quite introverted or quiet is. Are you quite a quiet person as well?
Yeah.
I mean, you've not stopped talking here today,
No,
but it's generally you're quite quiet.
Yeah, I am generally. I struggle in crowds.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
I can't interact, I try and interact with people. I just feel like the odd one out in parties, groups. I'm the weirdo in the corner. It's very strange.
I'm the same.
But yeah.
So believe it or not,
I don't fit in. I don't feel like I fit in.
Yeah.
I'd rather be in the corner playing with my balloons or whatever. And let me get on with it. What I struggle with at events, parties where I've been invited to as a guest, is I've got nothing to do. I need something to do. I can't just stand here and.
I remember you did that. Didn't we do something? Where was it? Was it the Amscan thing that happened?
A while ago, yeah.
The Ballooning Marvellous thing.
That was it, yeah.
When was that? 2018? It was
quite
a long time ago. And I remember in the evening, you were still twisting balloons.
I stood there twisting, because I had something to do.
Yeah.
They asked me if I would twist. Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
It saves me. I can talk to people if I'm working and have a conversation, and then they go away, the next person. Whereas to actually sit down and have a conversation with, it's like, I like talking to people. I like people's company. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I find it so hard.
Yeah.
I find it so hard. Yeah. It's a struggle.
So do you think that's sort of like a barrier, a wall, sort of for you?
Probably.
It's like if I'm working, I'm more confident, and it sort of defines you a little bit. I
think I can turn on my performing me.
Yeah.
So although the Bowtie Balloon Guy and Robbie the Wizard is still me, they're a bigger me.
Yeah.
So maybe I turn on that switch to be a bigger me.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, and more.
No, I absolutely understand that, because it's quite hard you can't be like that all the time. But yeah, I'm just interested to know what sort of things are going on in your head and what sort of person you are. And because there's people out there that do think you've got to be a particular way to be in the creative world, to be a performer.
I know of other children's entertainers, and their lives are full on. They're like in your face all the time, at home, in a restaurant, everywhere, outside work. They are constantly the children's entertainer.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't deal with that.
Children's entertainers do seem to be a very interesting group of people. I don't think
they're great.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but they're not me.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I mean. Well,
Yeah.
Interesting, because you've got different types of personalities that all do
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's
that is interesting.
strange one, but
Yeah.
I have to switch it off and
Yeah. So if somebody was starting out doing what you do,
Yep.
what advice would you give them?
practice.
Okay.
100% practice. It's the thing I say to everybody who I have ever taught. You need to practice.
Yeah.
That is the most important thing in the world. There's a thing you learn when you start doing magic, and the three rules of magic are: you need to practice again, and then practice one last time.
Yeah.
That's the three rules.
I absolutely understand that, because I've been the one in Hamleys that sees the guys demonstrating the magic tricks, and you get home and you can't do it within 10 minutes, and you just give up. You think
give
it's
up.
too hard. It's too hard. But you've just got to keep doing it.
You've got to keep practicing.
Yeah.
And it sounds dull as anything, sitting there making flower after flower or whatever, No, you've got to do it.
So why should people get into the industry, do you think? What's good about doing what you do?
The thing I say I struggle to talk to people, but the people are are amazing in the industry.
Yeah.
I've met so many amazing people from all around the world. I think 20 years ago I would never have dreamed I would be talking to people in America and Brazil and Mexico and people from China knowing who I am. It's so weird.
Yeah, yeah.
And me knowing people in random places. Go.
Yeah.
He's a hero, isn't he? It's like
it's great.
I'd never imagine. The people are great.
Yeah.
So that's what it is for me. It's the community.
Yeah.
Even though I struggle to talk to them.
Yeah. Well, it depends on the situation.
Yeah, exactly,
so if you're doing this, you're probably fine.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, and what about what's difficult about it for somebody starting out? What's the reality? Because sometimes I like to talk about the last time, I think when Bex was on here, and we talked about the mental health side of things and how it all looks amazing on Instagram. But the reality is sometimes it's hard work, and you're constit's
It is a struggle,
on.
yeah.
So
always working to get work, always struggling to get work. It is hard work. I struggle with the constant having to look for work, having to constantly talk to customers. I'm lucky that my agent does a lot for me.
Yeah.
I still have to talk to some, the constant chasing work, constantly trying to prove yourself to people. And I struggle with competition.
I was just going to ask you that.
Yeah.
Do you focus on your competition?
No.
Do you look at the competition?
I have a strict rule, is that I'll happily be friends with anybody, but don't expect me to follow you on Facebook. If you do the similar thing to me,
Okay.
I can't follow you. Because if I'm sat at home on a Saturday and I turn on my Facebook or Instagram and I see you're doing a job, why am I not working?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. How come they got a job and I haven't? I mean, it's stupid because I'm the only person who can do what I do. They do their thing. Obviously, they've been booked because they do their thing, and they didn't. It's like I'll be working tomorrow instead.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it evens
exactly.
out. It's stupid, really. But I get this thing in my mind. I think, I need to be. Why am I not working? And but yeah, it's hard.
That is one of the bad things. I think if you focus so much on your competition, no matter what you do, you can end up taking your eye off the ball in your own business.
Yeah.
And
I used to have a really good friend who lived like a mile from my house, and we were best friends. We'd hang out together. We'd go around each other's house for dinner, and we both knew neither of us followed each other on any social media.
Really?
No, I had no idea what he was doing when he's working. That was.
So he was doing the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That was the unspoken thing we had. Yeah, I don't follow you.
It does make sense sometimes, but sometimes I think you've got to be in the. I think sometimes you've got to look at the competition, see what's going on.
You're right.
Because you've got to grow. You've got to learn. It's like, this is on trend now.
Exactly.
So
See what is happening.
I'll start doing that. But I think wait until you get into a headspace that you're okay to do that, and probably not a week that you've not had any work.
Yeah.
Because that would be quite.
That's right. It's picking
depressing.
your times. I think picking your times to look and look into what everybody's up to.
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't look at your competition. I think it's nice to know what's going on in the world.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
To pick your time.
Okay, Rob, I could carry on talking.
Yep.
I'm not going to.
That's fine.
I think we'll stop it there. Thank you so much for coming in, and thanks for obviously the other shows that we've done as well.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me.
It's been an absolute pleasure, and you do talk quite a lot. So, but no, thank you very much for coming in, and thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't, please do, and hit the little bell icon. You'll be notified every time we upload a new show. Check us out on Instagram. Check us out on TikTok as well. I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Bye for now.